Hey, peace, world. This is just a check-in, really. You can see from the title, these three shows that I'm checking out. Suspicion, which is an Apple TV Plus series, as well as Severance, starring Adam Scott, John Turturro, and Patricia Arquette. But Suspicion is also Apple TV Plus. And then Raised by Wolves over on HBO Max. I couldn't tell you what's going on with any of these shows. I couldn't tell you what's going on with any of these shows. Wow. And just trying to find some different shows to get into and follow and be interested in. I click on a bunch of stuff. And I've stuck with Raised by... I came late to the party on Raised by Wolves. I just started watching that one a couple weeks ago. It's in season 2. So let's start there. I saw Ridley Scott was involved with it, but I thought he was the creator at first based on the content, the subject matter, but he's just the executive producer. I just don't know what the hell is going on here. It's some atheist people, then there's some people that believe in soul. These two androids that happen to be a white female, black man, black male. They've been tasked with restarting mankind with these babies, six babies on this planet. Which is, like I said, a lot of it seemed like alien or aliens. Definitely as we get into Prometheus with Ridley Scott. So that's why I thought he created it, but he didn't. But this show has really just... It's introduced like something new every episode. Or multiple new things every episode, and rarely takes any time to bring us up to speed on what the hell is happening and why this is happening. It's probably like 5 to 6, if not more, like revelations or things that have been introduced, like the voices in the head thing that was going on in the first season. We still don't know what this is, and it's like we're no closer to being told what it is. So I kind of don't understand why I'm watching this show. I will say that I think the performances from I can't remember, I don't know the actress and actor's name. I know his first name is Abubakar, I think. But the brother that plays father, I'm enjoying his performance. I will say that much. And then the lady that plays mother, or Lumia, she's pretty good as well. So I think the performances are on point. But to just keep us in the dark, what I think is 8 episodes per season, and we might already be through episode 4 of season 2. To just keep us in the dark this long, is I don't know why I watched the show. And the cliffhanger that we just got, in the most recent episode, Sue opens this box that they couldn't open, and it opens from her singing some song. Sue is now a believer in soul or God, but she doesn't believe it's a God because she's an atheist. But she doesn't believe that soul is a God necessarily. She just believes it's a signal that only like the enlightened can tap into this signal. And then it happened to instruct her how to save her son Paul, who really isn't her son, but that's neither here nor there. He was covered like a leper, basically. He was covered in head to toe with this stuff. And it was killing him. And then she went and got these leeches from this vision that she had from the signal. So like I said, man, the show is all over the place. They've introduced this new black woman who like predates Mother. She's a droid, and extremely powerful, possibly based on their study of her, mother and father's study of her. But she's obviously a threat to mother. So mother does some stuff to kind of put her on hold until she can figure out and assess what she is or what she isn't. So like I said, we don't know who this woman is. Oh, we don't know who this woman is and or this droid or what her purpose is, other than it's kind of like father's side chick. And it kind of gave fathers a sense of purpose because he regenerated it. And that's that. I'll jump to the weirdest thing, the weirdest new thing, or the weirdest latest revelation is the fact that Tempest finally goes to have her child, the second birth on the show that we've seen. Well, the first human birth. But I wasn't sure if she was gonna have a human or some hybrid thing, being, whatever. But again, this is kind of very confusing. I guess Tempest went out to the shore of the acid sea because she said she didn't want to see the baby. So I guess she went out there because she was going to birth the baby and then throw it into the ocean and let it be dissolved by acid. And she wanted to do this because she was raped, you know, and so she was disgusted that she had this being inside of her that she did not want to have, and she was violated. So I guess that's how she ended up out there as a pregnant woman, so that she could throw the baby into the acid and move on with her life. But as mother told her, when you do see the baby, you're going to want to keep it. So she was trying to, so she has the baby by herself. And at the same time, for some reason, unbeknownst to all of us viewing the show, one of these creatures who is able to withstand the acid in the ocean is like some kind of circular, swirl thing in the bottom of the ocean. And then this creature comes up out of the ocean. Somehow it knows that a baby is being born. Like I said, we have no history of this on the show. Somehow this creature knows that a baby is being born near the shoreline. So it starts making its way up to the surface of the sea, the ocean. And as she has a child and is biting off the umbilical cord, the creature appears and snatches the kid from her and then opens up some compartment on its body, on its abdomen, that it can place the child inside of so it won't be harmed. And then it seals all up. And then the creature just goes back into the ocean. And now Tempest is upset because her newborn has been stolen. So, like I said, this is just something completely new. These creatures that have come out of the ocean, we've seen 2 or 3 of them to this point. They're not really all that dangerous. This one was like a supersized one, though. None of the creatures on the planet have really been all that formidable. The other creatures that they were eating, what was that, season? I can't remember if that was season 1 or early season 2. But none of the creatures have really been all that, difficult to kill and whatnot. So that's it, man. I'm just, what am I watching? What's going on here? What is that? So I'm bugged out on Raised by Wolves. But I try to tune in. It's somewhat of a decent show. I'm just trying to see how all these parts fit together. And then lastly, at the end of the last episode, Sue gets the box to open. We don't know what these boxes are. Another open item or unanswered thing. And then she pulls out this seed or this thing that appears to be some kind of seed. And as soon as she puts it in the palm of her hand, it attaches itself to her and goes inside of her hand and then she needs to go away from Marcus and Paul over to this other area where she starts digging up the soil to plant this seed that is inside of her. And then Marcus wakes up in the morning and it's a big ass tree, a whole full-size tree. And then we see that this tree is something coursing through the bark of the tree. So it's alive. We don't see Sue anymore. So I don't know what the hell is going on this show, man. It's wild. And I can't say that I'm really, my enjoyment level and my attachment to the show is kind of decreasing because they just don't answer anything. And it's only a couple, we're at the halfway point. It doesn't seem like I said, it's unresolved things from season 1. So we'll see. Severance, Apple TV Plus. I couldn't tell you what the hell is going on. Now that PD is dead after episode 3 or 4, the company has offed PD, who was what was the name of the word that he said? It's a simple ass word, but I can't think of what it is. But anyway, he's back into the world. No detail on how he did it, how he rejoins the world after going through the severance process. But just, I don't know what to make of the show. It's one of these shows, again, it's kind of hiding itself from us. What the hell does the company do? This screen that they sit and watch with these numbers and they put it in this bin. What the hell is that? I'm just kind of confused and John Turturro is acting all weird. Christopher Walken is acting weird as hell. This brother, Mr. Milchek, he obviously keeps the people in place, but Milchek and Patricia Arquette, they don't seem to be severed. They seem to be aware of who they are away from work. And the only thing is that's kind of interesting, now that because in the 4th episode, they kind of take a step back. And then Mark Adam Scott goes and finds this map, and it's like some housing on the campus and some clues to what's going on. But then he takes the map and puts it through the shredder. So at that point, I'm kind of like thinking this might be a good off-ramp for me to leave the show. The only interesting thing that kind of kept me around was the fact that Helly was so dead, so set on quitting. She's been unable to resign from her Audi and getting out. But why is she so miserable? Why does her character, why does she just despise and hate being there? But she hated it so bad and refuses to do the job and do the work and even give it a chance. So all she's done is tried to escape, but she's been unsuccessful to do that. She couldn't resign. That didn't work out. They told her it wouldn't work. And so it seems like, she goes and hangs herself. We saw a little bit more about the break room and what that's about. But again, this show just kind of is just creeping along. And I'm kind of starting to hate myself for watching it, to be honest with you. So that's Raised by Wolves 2, Suspicion, and now I can't think of the third show that I was talking about. It's all of these kind of just, that was Severance. I'm sorry. Severance was the other show. The last show that I was talking about was Suspicion. That's on Apple TV Plus as well. What it was dealing with in the pilot episode, the kidnapping of this rich woman, this powerful woman's Uma Thurman, played by Uma Thurman, which her in the show is really not a selling point because she's had all of maybe 10 total minutes of screen time since she's been on there. Relatively a cast of relatively unknown people. The dude who played Sean, he was in a series called Scorpion several years ago. But this kid was kidnapped. Is somebody running some kind of is some kind of organization, this tell the truth organization, that they want Uma Thurman's character to reveal some kind of secret. She's the head of a PR firm or something that's very powerful and tied into the US government. I don't know, she had some position. It wasn't press secretary, I don't think. National, I don't even know. Again, her son was kidnapped by 4 individuals with these masks. The Sean dude is a killer, a hitman or a contract killer of some kind. He's brought these 4 strangers together for some reason. Is it 4 or 5? I think it's 4. The only piece that we've really figured out is that the youngster who was supposed to be in college or at university on the London side of the show, the UK side of the show, we find out that he's undercover. That's really the only thing that we know. That's he was planted there by the authorities, and he's inside with them, or inside the circle, as now the circle has now left London and is now back in the United States. And they know that they're there. We don't know why they're there. And in this last episode, I think it's the 4th or 5th show, it ends with a big reveal in that Uma Thurman's right-hand man knows who Sean is. I think that's who Sean gets in the car with. So again, all 3 of these shows are very difficult to follow and watch. Not watch, but follow and understand what's going on episode to episode. I'm not through with Suspicion just yet, but it does seem to kind of be just like lingering at the moment. Like I said, it's really been no reveal of what's going on with the person that was kidnapped. We haven't seen that person since. And we just don't know what the hell is going on. So that's all 3 of these shows. That's kind of the through line between all 3 of them. Not necessarily bad shows. I would imagine that Suspicion probably is the least popular. But compared to something like Ozark, which is one reason why it was very easy to take to Ozark and be a fan of Ozark and follow along, because 5 to 10 minutes inside of Ozark, you knew what it was about. And we haven't looked back since. Some new things have been introduced, and some people have been taken out. Some people have been killed off. A lot of people have been killed off, so on and so forth. But we know what's going on. Like I said, Raised by Wolves 2, Suspicion, and Severance, I don't know what the hell is going on. So I said all this to say, if you know and want to leave a comment on any of them, I would appreciate the feedback 3,000%. Another quick note before I jump off of here. I did watch, it took me a long time to get around to clicking on Defending Jacob, which is one of the first original shows that Apple TV Plus offered. And it has Chris Evans in it, Captain America. The sister from Get Out is on there. I'm trying to think how many other characters I really knew. But anyway, it only ended up being 1 season, and back in 2019 maybe. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good watch. It was 8 episodes, done very well. Kind of reminded me of HBO's Undoing, even to the ending. When you get to the last episode, they reveal everything at the beginning of that episode and don't really drag things out. So I thought it was well done. Interesting that it didn't become a series with multiple seasons. I thought about coming back and doing a review of it or a recap. But again, it's like 2 years old. But I do think, for people that like television series or serials and whatnot, I think it's an enjoyable easy to watch show, and pretty good work from Chris Evans. The story is pretty good, so I would strongly recommend it. You know, like I said, we're all out here kind of looking for those of us that like you know, series and whatnot, dramas and thrillers, or even science fiction, fantasy. You're always looking for something to add to the rotation, and I think Defending Jacob, while it hasn't received as much promotion, publicity as some of the other shows on Apple TV Plus, it was a very solid show. I'll give it that. I'll give it that. It was pretty enjoyable. So that's it, man. If you know something that I don't know about any of those three shows, Severance, Suspicion, Raised by Wolves, holla at me. We'll see what happens. I like Sue too, so if she became the tree, I'd be a little disappointed, especially as she was just becoming a believer. You know, and then to just disappear like that, that would be unfortunate. Hopefully she you know, she's over into the side somewhere behind some rocks or something, and Paul discovers her. But a whole tree overnight just grew with no sunlight. Anyway, pay me no mind, sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. I'm out. Peace.